Good morning, Instagram, Facebook, and the Dream Castle Travel Nation. I am Ayana Thomas, and this week's broadcast on our destinations of the week. This week we featured Jamaica, one of my favorite places in the world, and I'm going to do just a brief recap for you. Again, for those of you who didn't catch our broadcast last week, this is something we're going to do weekly. And to tell you a little bit about Dream Castle, we are officially an LLC. I can say that. I think I said it last week and then we had some delays. So we are officially an LLC, Dream Castle Productions and Vacation in Michigan. And we have our tax ID. So after doing this for 8 years and helping people start businesses and getting their LLCs formed and their nonprofits formed for them, I felt the need to do that for myself. I'm a part of another parent company, and so I didn't really feel the need to do that, and now I do. We're going to be making some changes in the upcoming months and years, and so it's just time to get things in order. Again, Dream Castle, just to recap, vacation came from my love of entertainment, my love of travel, and we, friends of mine and I, dubbed our houses, because we entertained quite a bit in previous years. We gave them names. My house was always Dream Castle. So Dream Castle, where dreams come true. Lots of fun, where brand new ideas were born. Started in Atlanta, where I went to Spelman and I went to Emory, and I lived there for 13 years. And I'm dating myself, however. Don't let that bother you. No, I'm kidding. And then I moved back home to Detroit, where I'm from. And I named my new place Dream Castle 2. And I had friends next door, Renee and Jermaine. They had the Boom Boom Room. We had Terrence and Ronald, who I still have not figured out what their name was, so forgive me. I'm going to have to find Terrence. I couldn't find them all last week. And so those neighbors are gone, but we're still dreaming in the castle over here. And so each business that I have started and developed usually falls up under that name, because it captures what I think you should always dream big, always know that you're worth it, and always move forward step by step in your dreams. And so I think that, you know, the Dream Castle is where those things happen. Okay, so and if you want to catch more details on that story without me going into a whole nother 10 minutes of it, just check the link in my bio for Instagram, and on Facebook you can scroll and find the podcast on Cuba, the first podcast, and it gives you a lot more detail of how Dream Castle Productions and Vacation got started. So again, I'm Ayana, and this week's feature is Jamaica. And what I wanted to do was go over some of my favorite things to do, my favorite tips, and a high-level checklist for Jamaica. So I'm looking down at my phone. I'm having some technical difficulties with some of my conferencing equipment, so I won't have a lot of pictures to show you guys because it's not very clear if I show you here. But what you can do is go to my Instagram if you're not already here now, and you can see some of the tips and the pictures and the checklist. And that's Dream Castle Vacation _D as in David, C as in Castle, V as in Victor, or Vacation on Instagram. And on Facebook, it's a Dream Castle Vacation. You can find us there. You find all these details and links to our website. So go ahead, do that. And guys, do me a favor. Sign up for our mailing list, and that way you'll get these tips. You'll get these high-level tips that we post, but you will get, if you're going on a trip and you let me know you're going on that trip, you will find detailed tips and checklists. Not only what to do, but what companies to use, what restaurants to go to, what agencies to use to expedite services. But right now we give high-level tips, and they will develop each week. Each week we will do a new destination feature. And I do believe next week is Cancun, but it's lined out all the way through January right now. So stay tuned every week on the social media pages for the tips on Tuesday, checklist on Wednesday, things you must do when visiting these places on Thursday, and then we recap on Friday. So today's recap is right now on Jamaica. So the very first thing, like I said, tips for Tuesday, top tips on Tuesday. This week, some of the things that we shared were for your top tips. And in between those top tips, we also give inspirations that morning. But those inspirations are for entrepreneurs or people who are interested in doing things, and you need a little inspiration to get over a hump day, to get over a setback, or just to get up and get motivated. So we include that in our social media pages as well. But again, Jamaica top travel tips. My very first thing, everybody knows this, dubbed from Debbie Allen, if I remember correctly. When you get to Jamaica, you simply have to relax, relate, and release. Let it go. You're away, you're on a beautiful island, it's warm, the weather's great, the beaches are beautiful, the people are wonderful and great, and you just feel so right at home. Leave home at home. Relax, relate, release. Get on the beach downtown, get you a nice drink, a nice Caribbean drink, and relax. Get you some fruit, cleanse your body, get a book you like to read. Whatever you do to relax, do it. And whatever you don't do to relax, try to do it, okay, when you're in Jamaica. So the second thing that we have, that seems very simple, but it is the hardest, and that's why it is number one. So the second thing is to enjoy yourself fully. It's right consistent with number one. Immerse yourself in the island and the people. I never forget my first trip to Jamaica. Me and friends from some of my classmates and friends from Emory, we went to Jamaica, and we had a couple of guys, shout out to Cecil and Dane, if you catch this, who were from Jamaica, or they were born, these guys were worldwide, born in the Bahamas, from Jamaica, grew up in Jamaica, and then were raised further in Atlanta. Well, anyway, the thing is they had family there, so their family kind of took us around. I think we were in a brand new resort at that time, and we had a ball. But basically, we had someone driving us around that knew Jamaica, but even we walked the streets, and for the very first time, I bought fish, I think it was, if I remember correctly, right off the street. Somebody was grilling on the road in a barrel barbecue grill, and this is something at the time I would never do. Oh my goodness, it was the best fish ever. And then of course, just partying. We went to see Erykah Badu for the first time there, so that tells you I'm dating myself again, how long ago that first trip was. But again, all those years later, it's still one of my favorite places to go. And so, but we just had a great time. You have a good time whether you're in an all-inclusive resort or you're in a different resort at that time in our lives and you want to get out and explore. And so we met people, we met school children, just walking, just had a good time. Okay? I would say some more, but we're going to cover some more later in terms of some of the things we did or we suggest you do. So again, enjoy yourself fully, immerse yourself in the island and the people. Try all the excursions that you can, and just walk the island. Drive to a destination and then walk the island, walk the beaches, and enjoy the people, the staff at the resorts, the staff at the hotel. Once you kind of break through the ice, make friends. They are so much fun and can give you so many tips on things to do around the various islands. Number 3, stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, especially if you are drinking. That's kind of anywhere you go where it's a warm temperature in the Caribbean, but take your bottle, not take your bottle of water, but drink your bottle of water, and because obviously it's warm temperatures and you're going to be having a lot of fun and exerting a lot of energy. And if you're drinking, which to be perfectly honest, you could do from sun up to sundown, in Jamaica. But make sure to drink plenty of bottled water to balance that out. Okay. Number 4, and I kind of alluded to this earlier, be friendly to the staff and the locals. As we say, it goes a long way. So, you know, you don't want to go to another country, any other country, and like America is the way to go, or wherever you may be from. When in Rome, do as the Rome do. I think that's a common thread that I'm using in each of the destinations. But yeah, have fun. Be really nice, and everyone will be really nice to you, and it'll make your time there better. You know, loosen up. Everything starts with that first tip: relax, relate, release. Okay? I did a little, who was that? Hillary Shimmy? Okay. So be friendly to the staff and the locals there. Got a call coming in there. Number, what are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5, schedule your excursions. Yes, this is a good one. When you arrive. You know, sometimes when I'm scheduling trips, I offer, you know, hey, they'll let you know what excursions are there. If you're with someone, you know, if you have an agent that really knows the location and the place, and they can schedule that for you. But my suggestion is that when you get there, especially if you're a resort, and all-inclusive resorts, they have all these agencies lined up. You get to compare prices. You get to talk to the staff at the resort, and they will point you in the direction of a safe tour or a safe company that will really make sure you enjoy yourself. And you can couple deals. Hey, I was going to do this, but I'm thinking of doing this as well. And when you buy a few of them together, then you may get a discount there. Or the other thing is, you never know what your resort offers for free in your package. For example, there may be snorkeling, or there may be jet skiing, or there may be people that are on the beachfront near your resort that can give you a great deal too. So my tip is to wait till you arrive and kind of figure out what you want to do. You may think this, but then you get there and you see, hey, they have zip lining. And when I say zip lining, it's not from one roof to the next. It's up through the trees, up as high as you think you could possibly go. And so you may decide you want to do that, or you may decide again to go scuba diving or snorkeling or paddle boat, just whatever, you know, your comfort level is, and you'll get to see the variety of options that you have once you arrive, and you get to see the more discounted prices when you arrive. Okay, so number 5, that was schedule your excursions when you arrive. The last tip we have today, so this must be number 6, so I will consider this kind of a bonus, is, and this is not to offend anyone, but driving is not for the timid in Jamaica. Driving is not for the timid. We have been in shuttle buses, and you're like this, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like being on a roller coaster, no offense. So use the residents and the transportation. I say residents if you know someone and they know how to drive. But also the professional transportation provided by the resort, provided by transportation you may use to get you to and from the airport to your resort, for sure. Book that. We'll talk about that in the next checklist. But book your transportation early. Yeah, use professional transportation that's provided for you. It is much safer. All right. So those are our top travel tips for our destination of the week, Jamaica. Relax, relate, release. Enjoy yourself. Immerse yourself in the island and the people. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water. In addition to your libations and your special drinks. Be friendly with everyone. Be friendly with the staff. Be friendly with those with Jamaicans, and you know, your guests, the other guests in the resort, and that are traveling at the same time as you. It will make your trip so much more pleasurable. Okay, and then schedule your excursions when you arrive, as opposed to prepaying for them and scheduling them. And driving is not for the timid. Leave that to the professionals on the island. But get out and get around and do some walking as well. So those are our top tips. Let's see. So let's go right into the checklist tidbits. And I call them tidbits because these are just a few things. This by no means is an all-inclusive list, but we are building an all-inclusive list that you can have access to on our website. And you can link there. Everybody's on their phones now, so you can link to the website from my Instagram page and from my Facebook page and even from the Twitter page. Started a Pinterest page too. We'll talk about that real soon. But my main posts and social media pages are my Facebook page and my Instagram page. Twitter kind of catches what we share from there. I haven't had a whole big focus on there, but if you're a Twitter person and you'd like for us to get a little bit more into that, everything should be there. But if not, let me know. Send me a message at dreamcastlevacation@yahoo.com and say, hey, I'm on Twitter more than Instagram and Facebook. Can you make sure to follow me and tag the information there? If you're following me on Twitter, you can probably search for Dream Castle Vacation, but you would find me under simply Ayana 30, I think. Okay, so back to the Jamaica checklist tidbits. All right, number 1, confirm the closest airport prior to travel. They now have about 3 airports going into Jamaica. So if you're going to Ocho Rios, then you want to go into Montego. You want to fly into Montego Bay and Negril. And then there's well, if you're going to Negril, you want to fly into Montego Bay. Then there's 2 other airports. One is really new, and it's actually closer. It's in Ocho Rios. However, I do believe it's for private planes. So if you're flying private, then you can fly, and you'll have your route, and you can fly into Ocho Rios. Otherwise, you want to check to make sure which airport is closest to the destination that you have chosen for Jamaica. Because obviously there are lots of wonderful islands that people travel to in the country. So mainly Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, Negril, but there are others. So confirm your closest airport prior to making your travel arrangements. So prior to booking that flight, so you're not booking a flight somewhere else that's, hours and hours away from your destination. Confirm which airport is closest. Number 2, book transportation from the airport to your hotel. Usually you can do a shared ride, like in many other places that you travel. You can do a shared ride, you can do a private ride. Usually it's about $20 per person one way. Sometimes you can find really good deals that are $20 round trip, but you want to book that transportation. And not only book the transportation, but document it. Because when you get there, usually they have instructions that you need to call your transportation company to let them know, I've arrived, and they'll let you know where. Usually they send you an email, but they'll let you know where you're supposed to meet them and what time. And you want to do that so you don't miss your transportation to your resort. Because oftentimes when you fly into, say, Montego Bay, it's probably about an hour drive, if not longer, depending on where your destination is. When you do the shared bus, you're usually in a chartered bus, and they drop several people off at several resorts along the way. So speaking of documenting that, I'll talk about this later, but I have a travel journal that I've produced, Kings and Queens Live the Dream. We'll have various different variations of this. This is sort of a couple's manual. And this is a prototype. This is my first run at it. I am going to make changes. I think it's a little thin. I like it. It's a 7-day trip. There's some things that it really pops here. Kings and Queens Live the Dream. Dream Castle Journal, Travel Journal. You open it up, and we have here, I'll just touch on the first 2 pages, where you can put your favorite picture here, and here, your airline, your reservation number, your flight number, your departure time, for those of you who are forgetful, or if the lead travel person is not traveling with you, you want to make sure to have all of that. But what we were speaking of just then, transportation company and their phone number, so that you can get there, and if your phone has died, you can't plug it in, whatever, you will have that information. So I'm really proud of my little travel book. Just a note, this is supposed to be in red and thicker paper so it can pop. So again, this is a prototype. If you're interested in getting it, there's a link in my bio where you can download this for free. or you can order it online for $15 for a hard copy to carry. Nice little size, not too big, real kind of small, where you can just pop it in your purse or your backpack and it's not cumbersome, and you can carry it with you. The main thing is to kind of document your travel. If you know me and you know I love pictures, and you know I call everything the photo chronicles, and so you want to photo chronicle your trip. You can jot down your thoughts of your trip for each day, and so there's 7 days worth of that information in here. You can jot down your daily itinerary, what you plan to do that day, what you must see and do. You can print out what we show for you and paste that in there. Your favorite places to eat, either before you go or after you get there, so you can remember for your next trip. And then any new contacts or network people that you meet, any people in the resort, any new friends you find along the way. You jot all those things down for each day, and again, this one goes up to 7 days. And when you get home, you can have this to remember your trip. I think it's a great idea. You know, a lot of us don't print pictures anymore. If you travel with me, I'll print pictures for you to post in your journal. But again, and at the end of the journal book, I'm sorry, I had no intention of doing this, but I'm really excited about it. After day 7, you do have a page where you can say, hey, each day I did that. What were my favorite moments? What were my favorite memories and moments from my Dream Castle vacay, or from your favorite trip there? So that page is there for you. You can just put a picture there, or there's lines so you can write it out. So you have a couple of pages for that, and just a reminder that kings and queens live the dream. So we have t-shirts, guys, coming out, mugs, luggage tags, all of that. But mainly we want to make sure that you are prepared for your trip, so you can utilize us to book those trips for you, or you can at minimum follow our posts and tips to get you there. But again, these are very high level tips, and so if you want details, we'll provide those when you book travel with us, or we're putting together an ebook. We're developing it as we develop each of these tips, much more details than we provide on the social media page. So again, check the bio, check the link in the bio, check through the Facebook page, and you'll find all these great tips. Access to the travel journal. We'll have one for just the kings and one for just the queens, and so on and so forth. So if there's something you want to see, shoot me an email at Dream Castle Vacation, and better yet, subscribe on the website, and then we can stay in touch and get you all the updated merchandise and trips that are planned, and make sure that you have that first and foremost with all the details that go with it. So where do we leave off? Book your transportation to and from the airport ahead of time. You don't want to wait and get there and try to book it, because they get full, and they're pretty reasonably priced. $20 for shared ride one way, or in some cases $20 round trip. So you just have to kind of research. In our detailed checklist, we'll list companies for you that we like. Number 3, shop around for the best exchange rates. Okay, so before you go, kind of check around. This is you can exchange in Jamaica in a lot of different places, in your resort, at the airport, at our airport here, at the airport there. But check around and see where you're going to get the best exchange rates before you do that. Okay. Number 4, pack and photocopy your valid ID. So of course you want to take your passport, you want to take your driver's license or state ID, but you also want to make a photocopy of that to carry around with you, because you want to secure it at your resort or your hotel rather than carry it around, but you want to have a copy of it at any given time that you are traveling, okay? That you are traveling throughout the country. You need your originals as you're flying into the country. Okay, so pack and copy your valid ID. Number 5, this is just so cute and key to me. I wish I had my glasses. I sold my glasses from SS shades. My niece's company. You can find a link to her page on my page as well. But really nice sunglasses. But pack your sunglasses if you're the type that changes with every outfit. Pack your sunglasses because you're going to beautiful, bright, sunny weather or conditions, and your cute walking shoes. So you're going to do a lot of walking. So some flip-flops are in order because you're going to be doing the water rides. Some tennis shoes maybe, or whatever you're comfortable in. My daughter walks in her heels all the time. I'm beyond that. But if that's what you like, make sure to pack your cute shoes for your walking and for your nighttime activity, your nightlife, because there's plenty of nightlife at the resorts that you stay in and out in the on the island. Number 6, right along with that, pack your beautiful swimsuits because again, there's plenty of beach life. And the weather is just so beautiful that you're not going to want to be fully clothed. Or at least we never do. So pack your beautiful swimsuits and your cover-ups. Cover-ups, not to cover up necessarily on the beach, but cover-ups where you can transition right to dinner, especially if you're in an all-inclusive resort. Just throw a beautiful cover-up on and you go right into your nightlife if you don't have time, or if you're having so much fun that you don't want to go back to the hotel. But, you know, of course you have plenty of time for that, and you may even be able to use one of the beautiful cover-ups after you freshen up and you go out. Okay? So again, beautiful swimming suits and cover-ups are a must in Jamaica. And for you guys, your swim trunks. We don't want to see guys on the beach in blue jeans, fully clothed with winter clothes on. We like to see your bodies too. No, just kidding. Just kidding, but not. Okay. All right. And the bonus tip, excuse me, I'm losing my voice here. The bonus tip, which is very, very important, you guys, for the checklist, tidbit, register with your country's embassy and consulate before you travel. It's just always good. That's a good tip for wherever you go, especially if you're going as a group. Let them know that you're going, and so that they know where you are. If anything happens, if something happens while you're there, they know that Americans or whatever country you're from, that they're in that place and that they may need to do something to help assist in securing their safety. Now, that's not specific to Jamaica. Never had any problems when I've gone to Jamaica, but when I take groups, we always register with the embassy and the consulate to let them know that that is where we are planning to go. All right. So those are our checklist tidbits. Any questions, drop me a line to dreamcastlevacation@yahoo.com. And if you have any other checklist tidbits that you think we should add to the list, feel free to drop that in a comment on Instagram or Facebook, or send me an email to dreamcastlevacation@yahoo.com. So last but not least, we have our you gotta do this in Jamaica. Our tips for things you do. It's quite some of these things everyone knows about, but you'd be surprised. So if I name a couple of things, you're like, yeah, everybody knows that. Well, some people have never been. So here we go. Some people may not know that Bob Marley is from Jamaica. So you go to Kingston, where Bob Marley is from. You want to visit the Bob Marley Museum. And again, I've stayed in Ocho Rios. People stay in the Grill. Ocho Rios is my favorite. It has a special place in my heart. People stay in Montego Bay. There are tours that'll take you to Kingston so that you can visit the museum. Okay, and then of course number 2, Dunn's River Fall. Famous falls in Jamaica. You join a group or take your group, and it's a river fall, but you don't just look at the river fall, you climb the river fall. So an extra tip for the river fall, take water shoes. Now that's not a place where you want to have your cute sandals on, and you might not even just want to go barefoot. People do barefoot, but you need that grip because those rocks can get slippery. I don't want to scare anyone because it is fun. You absolutely must do it. You walk the waterfall, you feel the water, it's just beautiful. You take pictures, they give you a tour, they guide you, and so it's just so much fun. You gotta do Dunn's River Fall when you go to Jamaica. And again, they have tours and they'll pick you up at the resort and take you out there. and bring you back. And then you walk along the beach, and there's vendors on the beach, and you have just a great time. Okay, so number three, you have to go snorkeling, guys. It's a whole adventure. Not only are you have trained professionals out there with you. You ride the boat, and they have little fun things. I took it off the list, but they have little libations on the boat for you to loosen you up, have a good time. Then you get your equipment, your life jacket, your equipment to breathe, and you go out and you snorkel. I believe we used Skylark. That information, the detailed information, will be in your more detailed tips and things to do. But again, your resort will have people lined up to direct you to different people that can do that for you. They may even have it on their location themselves, but you go out and you're just literally, engrossed in the water and enjoying just being free, in the ocean. You're in the ocean. So you gotta snorkel. And I'm ashamed to say I'm not even a swimmer. And I did it. I've done it a few times, so gotta do it. I mentioned zip lining earlier in the video. I did not zip line. I have not zip lined, but many other people, probably most of the people on the trips that I've taken with me, they zip line, and we have pictures galore. We have probably 100 pictures from zip lining, and when I say to the top of the trees, and not just trees like the tree that's standing outside of your home, but the trees in the mountain tops, we're up so high. But it was exhilarating from what I understand, and I can tell from the pictures, and it was just a lovely, lovely time. So if you're into adventure, you gotta zip line. Okay, now this is my all-time favorite thing right here. Horseback riding. They call it horseback riding and ocean swim. So you kind of, and this is from the 3-year-old to no age limit. They match you up with a horse. You kind of journey down to the water, so you are traveling through grass sides, if you will, and it's so serene. It's just a beautiful feeling. If you're scared of horses, once you get over your fear, they're big and they're beautiful and they're powerful and they're strong, but it's such an experience. You have to do it. You absolutely have to do it. Then you hit the water, and it's just so exhilarating and serene at the same time. Just a beautiful experience. Just time to reflect, as you're traveling to the water, but you must do it. Horseback riding and ocean swim. And the final tip, which is kind of my second favorite thing, jet skiing. And I'm telling you, just go with someone who's safe. My first time jet skiing, I went with Dane, and he's like a 007 daredevil, and we flipped over. And I thought, oh my God, that's it. But, they flipped us right back over. We got right back on, and we just had a great time. That was years and years ago, but every time I go, we jet ski. And so it is a lot of fun. And that's just a few of the things. Now, if you want details, companies, and specific places, again, shoot me an email, and we will have that available for you. So let's recap. Bob Marley Museum, Dunn's River Falls, snorkeling, zip lining, horseback riding, and ocean swim, and jet skiing. So again, you guys, I hope you like the tips, the checklist, and the things to do this weekend. We actually even got a bonus here to go through the journal. If you're interested in a journal, check my bio. Again, this is a prototype. You can get download it right now. But when I say prototype, I'm working to make improvements. This was the first run, and I like to really, really do things nicely. So I don't know how much bigger I'm going to make it, because I do really like that it's compact. You can throw it in your purse, in your backpack, and it's not cumbersome, and it's not getting in the way of your adventure and your fun while you're traveling, but you have plenty of space to jot down your ideas, your thoughts, and your memories. Share your memories here. So hope you guys enjoyed this week's version of recap, our Dream Castle Vacation recap, destination Jamaica. Same time next week. And again, it's always a good time and a good idea to travel. You guys can have it all. Signing off from Dream Castle Vacation, Ayana Thomas. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for joining us.